And joining us now is someone who will be in attendance tonight, Republican Congressman from Texas and Chairman of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Congressman McCaul. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. With our last guests, Luke and Mike, we were talking about the perception of the United States on the global stage, particularly in light of Friday's Oval Office discussion between President Trump and President Zelensky and Vice President Vance, and what has happened since then. We know the breaking news we're hearing that the mineral deal is back on. Details will be announced tonight. And also Zelensky now saying he is ready for a ceasefire. How do you see all of this moving forward?
I think that's great news moving forward. It was disappointing to see what happened in the White House the other day. Zelensky sent out a very good tweet thanking the United States, expressing regrets for what happened in the White House, and a willingness to get back on track with signing this important mineral economic agreement, which I think will serve both countries well, but most importantly, Ukraine, in terms of the United States investing in Ukraine, and therefore we will protect our assets there. I anticipate in my conversations that you will see an announcement by the President of the United States tonight about the restart to negotiations to sign the peace deal, or the mineral deal, the economic deal, which then hopefully will lead to a negotiated peaceful settlement.
Congressman, this won't be easy. President Trump has said that. How much do you think his choice to stop aid is making this mineral deal happen? Art of the deal, we talk about that. You know, this is a difficult situation. Difficult decisions are going to have to be made.
Well, it's classic Trump negotiations. He puts a lot of leverage on his whoever he's negotiating with in advance so he can get a desired outcome. And I think that's precisely what he's doing right now, is saying, okay, we're going to stop military aid, economic aid, until you come back to the table and express some regret for what happened. But now that he has that in this tweet from Zelensky, I do believe the president's going to be positive and optimistic about it moving forward. At the end of the day, the president's one, and not necessarily everybody in the White House, he's the one that really wanted this done. And nobody gains by this agreement not being signed by both parties.
Congressman, we do have that tweet from, or that X post from Zelensky, and you've referenced it a few times. I just want to put it up there. I'm going to read it. Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than Ukrainians. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. Is that his version of the apology that President Trump asked for?
Well, he says, I regret what happened. Well, here's a guy who's been in war for 3 years. He's seen a lot of atrocities and 200,000 children being kidnapped and indoctrinated. I think it's hard for him to walk into any situation without carrying that sort of passion. I think his fatal flaw, and hopefully it's not fatal anymore, was trying to relitigate the terms of the agreement that had already been agreed on. And I think in doing so, that irritated particularly the Vice President, J.D. Vance, when he kept talking about what was not in the agreement, that he wanted security agreements. That's a discussion for time to follow. Yeah. And I think we'll have that.
Yes. Sounds like he was there, as to your point, maybe speaking through the fog of war, so to speak. Seems exactly. Like what you're giving up the President Zelensky a little bit of an out there, and I completely understand that after what he's seen. That makes sense.
Tough. Emotions ran high that day.
That's right.
President Trump acknowledged that just as well. Congressman Mike McCaul from Texas, sir, good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.